And I remember thinking, this is something that singers have talked about and have heard about, this expression, you're singing on the principle of your voice and not on the interest. And that's really what I was feeling. I thought, I knew it. I don't know that anybody else did, but I knew it. And I thought, that's not the way I like to sing. I've always, got up in the middle of the night and could sing whatever I wanted to do. I'm just not very interested in doing that. I think because I'd been sick, I think I'll just rest. And I was in a position where I could rest. There were, I have a lot of vocal colleagues who wouldn't be able to do that because they have a wife and 3 children and they have to work. They've got to keep the money coming in, and I didn't have to do that, at least for a year or so. So I was taking a year off, and during that time, I was asked by Wiley Hitchcock, who was with us, a very fine music historian, who was the chairman of the music department at Hunter College at the time here in New York City, and he said, "Why don't you come in and do some teaching?" I said, "I don't know what I would say. I never ever thought of teaching. I don't know anything about it." He said, "Just come in and try it." He said, "Try it." She said, "You may be surprised." It was class. I wasn't going to teach private lessons, which I wasn't really interested in doing. Well, I'd never done it. And anyway, I went in. I remember that classroom, and there were maybe 8 students. And within about 5 minutes, I realized, gee, I had a whole lot to say, about singing and about what might help these students. And with that, my career really changed. I became much more of a teacher than a singer. In fact, I don't think I ever really went back to doing a lot of full-time singing. People say, "How could you stop doing that? Didn't you miss being out on the boards?" And I said, if I could sing the way I wanted to sing, I would sing tomorrow. I would do it in a minute. But if I don't, I'm not interested in peddling that. I'm very, concerned that it has to please me. First of all, I have to be not just a little bit pleased, but 100% pleased. And for that reason, I was having sung my whole life since I was 7. It was, if I stopped when I was 40 or whatever it was, I still had a long career of singing. And my goodness, teaching, well, first of all, it was fun in a classroom. I loved not just teaching singing, but having a music history class where there might have had not necessarily more like an appreciation class where you talk generally about music to non-music majors. I loved that with a class of 100 students, and I would get some of my colleagues who were teaching being so nervous about having to go in and give a class with 100 students and prepare an examination for 100 students. It was a dream. I said, "You don't know what pressure is. Wait till you get out at one of the great opera houses and or concert halls, and when everybody's expecting the greatest thing in the world and you're going to come out, and that's responsibility and that's pressure." I said, this in a classroom isn't pressure at all. I mean, it's a delight. I love doing it, and so I had a very nice career teaching. I taught in many different places, but my full-time job was always Hunter College. I gave lectures and gave lessons in Cambridge, in England, with some of the chapel choir singers. I enjoyed that a lot. I was out at Stamford in the summertime at Oberlin College and gave different Baroque Performance Institute classes, enjoyed doing that, and I, to this day, still enjoy the occasional master class and that kind of work. I give lectures on countertenor singing or high male singing or whatever, and also involved with poetry reading, which was brand new thing for me. It happened a few years ago with a group called the Lark Ascending, and we've done a good bit of Milton and other poetry. in various programs with composers who are writing music and for the programs, and that's been a very interesting and rewarding thing for me too.